Well, I guess first and foremost, we'll start with maybe a comment on Luis being traded and comment on that and what that does as far as freeing up space.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Luis been so great for Toronto. Since I've been here, he's been absolutely fantastic. There was an opportunity, I think. Obviously, the money that we get is extremely valuable, and an opportunity I know that DC kind of really want to, I suppose, build a kind of a team around Louis, and hopefully with things happening very shortly, it was going to be a situation where we had to make it. I wanted to make it win for the player, and kind of win for the club, and we wish Louis all the best because he's a fantastic man, and he'll be fantastic.
Ryan, did the emergence of other young players make the decision a little easier for you?
Well, yes and no. A decision like this is, it's not an easy decision by all means, and I've spent, a long time contemplating it and thinking about it. Yes, and the fact that we've got young players that have really stepped up that we didn't know that we're going to, and which does help. And obviously with potential additions coming in, we kind of needed to obviously free up some cap room to improve the squad, and that's what we're always trying to do. We're always trying to improve the squad.
Any progress or announcements pending about? You mentioned newcomers coming in. Anything sort of working or close to the beginning?
Yeah. Everybody's working really hard. Hopefully we can get something over the line pretty soon with numerous players, but at the moment I haven't heard anything. You probably know more than me.
And is Diego Forlan one of them? I'm sure you've heard all the rumors and stuff before.
He's contracted with a club down in, doesn't he play in Brazil somewhere? Yeah, so he's a player that's under contract, so I can't really talk about him. But obviously he's a good player to have him. So, but we'll see.
What about injuries? Some guys not out here. Kuberman, don't see him out here. Stefan, what's the injury status of those guys first, and then moving forward?
Well, Stefan's just got some visa issues, I think, that he just had to sort out in a lawyer's office. Is that right, Mike? I think it was a visa issue. He's out in California, I think, with his green card or something like that, having just to sort that out. And Kuz just kind of felt his calf yesterday. So yeah, we have to be precautionary with Danny.
We talked to Richard. He says that he's hoping to be eligible for selection at least Saturday. Any chance he makes it back into the lineup, or is just a spot in the 18 at this point?
Well, yeah, he's back training. He's only had 6 or 7 trainings, 5 or 6 proper hard full-on trainings. So it's a bit early yet. We've still got this whole week, but he's looked really good. He's a naturally fit guy, so hopefully he'll kind of fit in really good.
Trading Silva, it kind of leaves open a pretty big spot right now, especially with Osorio gone. I mean, how do you fill that? Without the newcomers coming in yet, how do you fill that in time for the weekend and then Wednesday?
Yeah, it's not obviously. It's a wee bit awkward. Obviously, the timing's not perfect. But we had to make a move. It was pretty much on the table, kind of only for a short time, and we had to kind of do it. Obviously we might be hurting for 1 or 2 games, but in the long run it'll benefit the club.
Earnshaw status?
Yeah, fit and good and looking sharp. So that's Ernie's back, so that will help.
You think he'll be available for selection?
Yep, he should be available for selection. So that's good.
It's mid-season now, Ryan. Can you kind of give us an overall evaluation of how you think the team has done over the campaign?
What I'd say is the foundation is getting stronger and stronger. Obviously the results, they haven't really, been backed up by the performances. As I said, we could have been 4 or 5, extra wins if we had, probably had certain personnel at the start of the year. But we're starting to take a bit of shape to the squad. It's very hard. It's very hard when you've got, when we took over, we had no room salary cap. We had players that weren't really MLS kind of tested or proven, and we're starting to get a shape where a squad where we're we're backed with the kind of the organisation, and hopefully we can complement with a few players. Then we're starting to look like a proper MLS team. As I said, no teams turned us over this whole season, and we're just a few little things away from when I look at from 1 to 25, it's we'll start to look more like an MLS, winnable squad, and we'll only get better. Like as I said, this summer, and then in January we'll keep adding, and this squad will start to resemble a squad that you can put on paper and you can go, yeah, it's actually not bad.
So these newcomers, you think they'll be difference makers who will kind of get you over that hump a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly. It'll just improve the team, and even if you bring in, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's only just one player. No matter who we bring in, it's one player, but it improves it. And every time we make an addition, we try and improve the squad. You're not going to go from zero to hero overnight. It never happens in any sport, in any league, and any team in the world. It never happens overnight. But the basis of the foundation is that we've got some good young players, very good young players. They're getting really good experience. They'll only get better. We'll complement it, and I think the foundation will be there for a few years to come of being a very good team.
With half a season to go, is it still salvageable? Is the playoffs still something that's attainable?
Of course, as I said to the players, every game we have to go on and win. And we look to win, and the attitude's been absolutely fantastic. I think the fans can't argue with the attitude of the players or the performances of the players. It's the results that obviously not good. That's not good enough. But I think when you look at you guys have been around from day one on pre-season, and in a few weeks' time, look at the squad that we've put together now, and then think about what it'll be like come January and February. I think you'll see a bit of an evolution in the team. And we'll keep trying to evolve this team into a team that we think can win the thing.
Is Max Rudy still a possibility? Kevin had mentioned that you guys are still chasing him down, and that was getting closer. Is that one of the guys you're looking at over the next few weeks?
Yeah, obviously he's an extremely good player. Again, another player under contract, but Rudy's a fine striker. He's one of the best in Argentina. Just like Thiago Forlan, he's one of the best in South America. So, they're not our players, but if you had those two players on your team, any team would improve it, wouldn't it? So, it'd be nice to have them.
You said over the coming weeks, we're going to have to look at the squad and reevaluate our thought process. So you seem pretty confident that there are players coming in. You seem like there are certain players coming in.
Well, again, nothing's really 100% until the contract's been signed. They're walking in the door, and we've seen this. I've seen it just since I've arrived that we've been very close, but things happen in this world where it's out of your hands. So for some players, some of the really good players, they can get offers from everywhere. Late door, and if the money floating around that, that's possible. So you never know, but again, we're trying to bring players in, and we'll keep working as hard as we can.
Any update on Danny Cater?
Yeah, Danny's he's had a major problem with his back. That hasn't really stopped him from playing, and so it's probably one of those ones where it could it hasn't been good from the start. So once he kind of came in the door, it was never right, and it's got to a stage where he's kind of struggled, and he hasn't had it with his family, so he's taken some time off to kind of reevaluate things really, and I think he's just having a tough time with his injury and his family, and first of all, I always kind of said to every single player, you've got to be happy, and hopefully he can sort everything out.
Is he in town, or is he back in California with his family?
I think he's back in California with his family.
Okay. It's been a while now since he's played, so does he remain in your plans? Has there been any thought about possibly ending this relationship?
Well, it's not. We never want to end relationships, obviously, just like that. It's unfortunate for Danny. Is circumstances that have kind of out of everybody's control. It's kind of forced the situation that we're in. Obviously, you don't think this is going to kind of happen, and but all I kind of say is, I just want him to be happy. I want him to kind of and enjoy life. And at the moment, he had a really bad back problem, really injury problems, and I think he had problems just not having the family beside him, and so we had to deal with that.
Could this be like a career-ending kind of situation for him?
It's not looking good. So I hope not, but it's not looking good.
Why? This might be a question for Kevin, because I think it was before you came in. But why was this a problem that has been ongoing for a while? But why bring a player like that in and sign him to a fairly decent-sized deal if he's had problems with his back?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Danny was signed before I came in, but obviously, probably the due diligence probably wasn't there. That probably needed to be done. You're right; it's a fair question. But in saying that, when I thought of Danny Califf, signing of Danny Califf's, experience was a very good signing. But it just shows, it kind of proves the due diligence that's really needed these days. But so that's life.
Ryan, in addition to bringing in players from the outside, how are the players in the academy doing? Are there any that have caught your eyes for coming in this year or even next year?
Yeah. There's a lot of young players. Actually, there's 2 or 3 young players that we're bringing up to the first team right now. That we always want to bring, as I said, young Canadian players, and it's proven already with the ones that we've brought up, and we want to keep that kind of going. And there's a couple that have really caught our eye, and the more the better for me.
Did you see the Martinique game? Were you surprised by the result? Obviously, like any kind of Canadian football supporter, I was obviously disappointed with the result. But I think it's again, it's something that when you play against those teams, they're unpredictable. They can do that to you. They can do it to better teams in Canada. So I really feel for them. But it's in the back of your mind, do you think you might get some guys back now after the next game?
Canada could beat Mexico, so hopefully they beat Mexico. In all honesty, I'd love them to beat Mexico. It'd be really good for the sport and the country. On one hand, there is bonuses for us if they lose, but to tell the truth, I'd love them to beat Mexico. It'd be great for the sport.